there's dirt on my hands.
Hello YouTube, Boss Rino. Welcome to my channel. Bizarre Bob tayo. Bagong upload to. Itong pinaka-latest niyang upload. Kaya excited ako kasi sigurado ako na wala pa. Hindi ko pa napapanood to sa ibang channel. At di ko pa nagagawa ng reaction. So ito, may nakita na naman ako ng baby. Kapag nakita akong baby, lalo akong tinatakot. Kasi mas nakakatakot silang multuhin kaysa sa matatanda. Wala akong pakialam din sa mga matatanda. So yung baby, wag naman sana, di ba? So ito, tirahin na natin itong mga to bago pa tirahin na iba.
A mother and her baby are alone at home when something very unsettling is caught on camera. According to the mother, she has no words for this terrifying encounter. The mother writes, "I thought I was hearing things at first, but then my back door motion detector went off. That's when I knew it was real." She further adds that only she and her child live alone in this house. So whatever was caught on camera had to be someone or something else. If no other child lives here, then who or what was captured? This is what was caught.
Ito, natakot na kagad ako pag mga gantong kuha eh. Ito ano yun, mga 90% to totoo eh. May bumukas na pinto, narinig ko. Oh shit, binatawa. Oh shit.
Out of nowhere, a child's giggle is heard inside the house. But even more creepy is the fact that her baby was already looking at the direction from where the laugh had come from. Initially thinking it was just in her head, she turns away from the source of the voice, seeming less scared, when suddenly the sound of running footsteps is heard. It is at this point that she begins to realize that maybe someone or something is inside her house. It was
Yung mga ganito nakakatakot eh, yung mga kwentong ganito, tapos nakikita natin na ganyan sa CCTV lang. Alam mo yung parang tamang hinala yung tao. Parang ako, minsan, di ba? Tamang hinala ako dito. Yun ang nakakatakot eh, no?
only after the motion detector went off that she quickly fled away from the scene. As we already know, there shouldn't be another child in the home. Yet, a kid's voice is heard inside. The mom further mentions that she looked around the house as one of her thoughts was that a kid had broken into her home. But after searching all over the place, there was no trace of anyone there. Of course, it's not certain if a ghost or an entity was caught on camera, but until more info is given, the question still remains: just who or what was inside the house?
Ang mahirap lang dito, na-imagine mo nasa bahay to, na-imagine mo pag nangyari sa bahay mo. Oh shit. Number 4.
A family in Mexico has been experiencing paranormal activity. From hearing random knocks on their door and opening it to find no one there, to seeing things inside their house move on their own, the family can't help but think that something very sinister is haunting them. Now, for some reason, these odd occurrences didn't happen until one day they heard a random knock on their door. Ever since then, they would wake up late at night to strange noises and other creepy occurrences that seemingly don't stop unless they are recognized. Given how often this occurs, the family has started recording these incidents. After being woken up once again by strange noises, a family member begins to record and captures the following. This is what they caught.
Ba't gumalaw yung kumot?
Following.
Oh?
A family member begins to record and after being woken up once again by strange noises, a family member begins to record and captures the following.
Magalaw yung sa ilalim ng kumutong lalaki, ano pag ginagawa niya? Nagbabalbal ba yan? Parang nagbabalbal, no?
This is what they caught.
Son las No sé si se alcance a ver. Las 3 de la mañana con 1 minuto.
Ako 3 a.m.
Y
buwisit.
mi hermana me acaba de levantar porque dice que se escuchan ruidos en el cuarto. Mi esposo y mi niña están dormidos y vamos a ir a ver qué se escucha en el cuarto. No hay nadie, solamente estamos mi hermana, mi hija, mi esposo y yo. Aquí en este cuarto está solo porque en estos últimos días nadie ha podido dormir aquí.
Huwag sa salamin,
Como pueden
pare.
ver,
Huwag sa salamin.
el cuarto está totalmente solo y pues nadie duerme aquí, solo estamos nosotros. Mi hermana dice que se escuchan cosas, pero... Ay, me asusté. Pero no sé, pues no se oye nada.
Puta, dahan-dahan, boy.
Amor, amor, levántate. Levántate porque allá le pegaron a la puerta. No sé qué pasó.
Laki nung ano, laki ng tatay, oh.
Vinimos Ari y yo. Se escuchó la puerta. Se escuchó la puerta. Mira, acabamos de venir y no estaba así. Todos los cajones están abiertos.
Bumukas na yung mga drawer, no?
All of a sudden, the bedroom cabinets are open. It's almost as though someone had ransacked the room before disappearing from sight. But the family knows it wasn't a person who did this, but rather something else. They continue to look around in confusion, trying to see if anything else had happened, when out of nowhere, this happens.
La niña está dormida.
Uy, 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 ano yun?
Estamos solos. No sabemos qué fue lo que pudo haber pasado. Mi esposo anda viendo.
Tangina mo, hayop.
¿Qué fue eso?
Nagulat.
¿Qué es, amor?
Movió la puerta, no sé qué.
Kinakabahan ako dun sa boses ng babae. Parang takot na takot, eh. Napakaduwag, eh. Napakaduwag nitong babaeng to. Kababae mong tao, napakaduwag mo.
No hay nada. No hay nada en el baño.
Huwag sa bintana. Ayoko sa bintana.
Just what exactly had caused the noise in the bathroom?
Whew.
Like with most occurrences, the family can't seem to explain it. But surprisingly, it was thereafter that the occurrences stopped. It would seem that the family no longer experiences anything unusual. But then one night, the following takes place. The family is woken up by a shuffling noise coming from the same bedroom where the cabinets had been
Meron
opened.
na naman.
They immediately begin to record when the following happens.
Estamos otra vez aquí. Son las...
Ito yung
No
kanina.
sé ni qué horas son, pero se están escuchando ruidos. Y estamos solas. Mi esposo anda trabajando. Mis hermanas están dormidas. Saraí, despiértate. Acompáñenme a ver allá adentro. Se están escuchando ruidos otra vez.
Wala pala nagalaw doon sa kumot. Ginigising pala niya. Sorry.
Voy a despertar a Ani. Levántate por favor para que me acompañen a ver allá adentro.
Takot na takot yung babae.
Escuchando ruidos. Vamos, agarra por favor a la niña.
Kita nyo, ginising niya lahat, oh.
Dios mío, estamos solas. No sé si alcanzan a escuchar. Se escucha el perro. ¿Qué horas son, hija? Son las
Tangina, nakakatakot, hayop.
3:33 de la mañana. Ay, Dios.
Dicen que esta hora es muy buena porque te crezcan las cosas, ¿eh?
Estamos solas. Mi esposo le tocó trabajar hoy. Estamos nosotras solas. Tenemos mucho...
Puta. Alam nyo, kanina medyo hindi ako naniniwala, pero ngayon naniniwala na ako, eh.
Hace como 15 días que se empezó que escucharon estos ruidos. No sé si es imposible. Ay,
Putang ina mo, kinabahan ako na naman.
no sé si es imposible dormir.
Huwag sa bintana, huwag sa bintana, huwag sa bintana.
Estamos solas. Ay, no, no puede ser. No puede ser, no puede ser. cosa, es más difícil dormir. Ay, Dios.
Oh,
Ay, Diyos.
gumalaw yung tortina.
Ay, Dios mío.
Asan yung mga kasama mo?
No sé si alcanzaron a ver, pero se movió la cortina.
Takot na takot yung babae. Kaya nakakadala yung
Por favor,
takot
a ver
niya.
si no es alguien.
Gumalaw yung kortina kanina, di ba?
No, que puede ser, puede ser, puede ser.
Huwag mong bubuksan yung pinto, gago. Huwag mong bubuksan yan. Wag, uy, gago, wag. Wag mong buksan, hayop.
¿Hay alguien? Ay, Dios mío, no quiero salir.
Pucha.
Somehow, the curtain moves on its own. Now, some think that a light breeze had made it move, which could be the case, but it still doesn't explain the strange banging noise that is heard, or why the dogs were barking non-stop. Maybe it is the case that somebody was messing with them, but other previous incidents make the family think otherwise. So then, just what exactly is going on inside this home? Like with most videos, there has yet to be a definitive answer to this question.
Ano yung maganda, kaya maganda siya, nakaka-enjoy siya panoorin, yung reaction ng babaeng nagkakamera. Takot na takot siya. O, nakakadala yung takot niya. Alam mo yun, kahit hindi mo alam kung saan siya natatakot ka na rin kasi takot siya eh.
This next video was shot by someone who in the footage seems to be taking in the view of the river before them. All appears to be normal until the camera catches something from a distance. Upon zooming in, it becomes apparent that whatever was caught on camera had most likely ruined the mood of the person recording. Now there isn't that much info on the clip, but it still nonetheless speaks for itself. This is what was captured.
Domingo, curtindo uma cachoeira em Leeds, Rio de Janeiro. Reparem no visual, na mata. Agora o melhor de tudo é essa queda d'água. Muita água. Muita força. Uhul!
Whoa!
Caraca! Uma coisa ali. Caraca, parece uma coisa ali.
Puta ka na yung multo, nagsuswimming ang puta. Yan ang nakakatakot, multo nagsuswimming.
Caraca, parecia um cara ali no meio da água. Mozinho! Mozinho, você viu o cara no meio da água? Caraca!
Yun o? So galing yung multo, galing sa falls. Pag ditaw niya, nakita niya may camera, nagtago ulit siya. Takot sa camera talaga yung mga yun eh.
Not too far from the camera, there appears to be someone or something bathing in the roaring rapids of the river. After being splashed by countless river waves, the figure all of a sudden vanishes.
Tago
It's
eh.
as though the waves had
bigla,
washed
eh, oh.
away the shadowy form. But then suddenly, it comes back for a split second before being taken away by the river. Now, even if we don't know what the person behind the camera is saying, we can hear it in their voice how baffled they are by the strange figure in the distance. Whoever, or whatever this is, has yet to be known. But I'll leave it to you to decide as to whether or not it's something paranormal. Unfortunately, the lack of info on this video makes it likely that we'll never know for sure.
Woo! Number 2.
A mountain climber from Mexico shares a chilling photo from his trip to the mountains. It was during a podcast that Jesus Olivares shared the image and recounted the story behind it. Doubtless, the picture is pretty creepy to say the least. In 2009, Olivares and a group of friends had traveled to one of the highest mountains in Mexico. The mountain is known as Pico de Orizaba, which has an elevation so high above sea level that it's nearly impossible to climb without an oxygen supply. Many believe that the mountain is uninhabitable for this reason, and therefore lacks civilization. However, Many climbers have reported seeing silhouettes of people and other strange shadow-like figures when going up the mountain.
Ayop sa multo, nakasombrero pa talaga eh, no?
While
Para si Undertaker, no?
some think that this might have been other climbers in the area, many believe that this might have been the spirits of deceased individuals who tragically died during their climb. Now Olivares admits to having seen things he couldn't explain. Perhaps this might have been the altitude sickness kicking in, as low levels of oxygen can cause people to hallucinate. But Olivares is certain that what he saw wasn't him just seeing things, but in fact, something real. And to prove it, he has a photo. In a podcast, Olivares claims to have seen shadows and heard distant voices while he and his friends ascended the mountain. These occurrences would come and go, but eventually stop at a certain point. They would continue climbing, feeling less spooked, before later stopping to take photos. Now lots were taken, but one in particular would catch people's attention. After the trip was over, Olivares posted the pics on his social media and called it a day. But then, the day after, a strange comment was made below one of his photos, which read, "Nice pic, but who's the kid in the background?"
Oh, may bata.
Confused by the comment, Olivares, in response, asked, "What kid?" To which they replied, "The kid in the corner. Who is that?"
Shit.
Olivares takes a closer look at the photo.
Pucha, meron nga. Hayop.
He immediately got goosebumps. Olivares assures us that he and his friends, all adults, were the only ones present at the site. Initially thinking that it was just a rock, he shrugged it off as a case of pareidolia, but upon closer examination, there was clearly a child's face. It doesn't make any sense that someone, let alone a child, would be this high up in the mountain by themselves. Only explanation he can think of is that this was a paranormal incident. But of course, it is solely a theory among many others who've seen the picture. The photo continues to haunt him to this day, even though it was taken back in 2009, and the lack of an explanation reassures him that something paranormal occurred. But as always,
Anong ginagawa nga ng bata dyan? Kahit nasabihin mo totoong tao yan, anong ginagawa ng bata dyan? Andiyan siya sa pinakamataas na bundok
do you
halos.
think?
Na napaka-imposible daw maakyat.
Did Olivares capture something paranormal? Or might there be a rational explanation for this? Feel free to let me know what you think down below. If you caught something creepy on camera, said, let's get back. Now this last
Oh, ito nakita ko na to. Dos kaninang video. Na-upload ko na. Pero ibang salita Vietnamese. So ito, iba, tinatay ko ano yung paliwanag dito.
video was submitted by Aaron Tipsy, who states that a friend of his had sent him a creepy video. In it, Aaron's friend can be seen sleeping inside their bedroom when something downright terrifying is captured. It's close to midnight when the following happens. This is what was caught.
Tingin ko edit to para sa akin Pero nakakatakot pa rin. Paano kung hindi edit? Putang, nakakatakot, no?
What better way to induce insomnia than by watching a video like this? Now it's worth mentioning that this same video can be found on
Ganun, napanood ko na yan, ba't kinikilabutan pa ako?
TikTok. However, the context given for that video is different from the one that was sent to me. Aaron states that his friend has no recollection of ever doing this in their sleep, whereas the one on TikTok states that they were fully conscious when they did this. Whether conscious or not, the imagery of this video is still nonetheless pretty disturbing. Real or not, this here is a great source of nightmare fuel.
Kinikilabutan ako kanina pa. Buisit. Ay, naku, umuulang-ulang pa. So, shoutout tayo mga to. John D. Manlapas, shoutout sa'yo, pare. Kay Lynn Sudo, shoutout sa'yo. Tapos, dito, tingin tayo sa bago. Tapos, shoutout kay Shomai. Di ba? Galing magpa-shoutout, Shomai lang. So, kilala mo na kung sino ka. Ikaw ang isa sa mga Shomai. So, ayun, at shoutout kay Rowan Martinez. Tapos, shoutout kay Richard Data. At shoutout kay Laura Centeno at Mark Centeno. Tapos shoutout din kay JG. Shoutout din kay Apulo Laruya. At shoutout din kay last one. Erica Duremdes Vlog ng Iloilo City. Ayan, maraming salamat sa panonood at hanggang sa muli.
I came from the